She-Hulk actress Tatiana Maslany is going after Disney CEO Bob Iger over his criticisms of the Writers Guild of America and the SAG-AFTRA strike, which are currently ongoing and look to be going on for the foreseeable future. Many people are thinking there won't be a deal happening until after Christmas, which could spell doom for Hollywood. Let's get into this here. So Maslany spoke with the Hollywood Reporter's Caitlin Houston about the SAG-AFTRA and WGA strikes from the picket line. She says, I have friends who have been doing this for 30 to 40 years and have lost their health care because the minimums are so relatively low, but wages have gone down. People's quotes no longer stand for anything. It's just like we've been completely cast aside. From there, she was then asked for her thoughts on Iger's recent declaration that he found the ongoing strikes to be very disturbing. This is what Bob Iger had to say. He says there's a level of expectation that they have that is just not realistic. He's talking about the writers' strikes here because the actors hadn't gone on strike yet. This was right before they went on strike. And they're adding to the set of the challenges that this business is already facing that is, quite frankly, very disruptive. It will have a very, very damaging effect on the whole business. And unfortunately, there's huge collateral damage in the industry to people who are supportive services. And I could go on and on. It will affect the economy of different regions, even because the sheer size of the business is a shame. It is really a shame. So Maslany had some strong words to say about Bob Iger on that. She said he's completely out of touch with the workers who make his shows happen, who make people watch these shows, who bring viewers to him and him money. Having worked on a Disney show, I know where people fall through the cracks and where people are taken advantage of, and it's outrageous the amount of wealth that is not shared with the people who actually make the show. That's crew, cast, writers. She's not the only one to share her thoughts about Marvel and the strikes and Disney. Thunderbolt star Florence Pugh, Shang-Chi, and The Legend of the Ten Rings actor Simu Liu, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. lead Clark Gregg, Eternal star Kumail Nanjiani, and WandaVision's Julian Hilliard have all offered some level of support and encouragement to their protesting peers. Clark Gregg said, I feel like we are moving from the great messing around into the finding of out. But I did want to get into what Maslany says, and I know it's going to be easy. A lot of people are just going to be like, "Oh, you made a crap She-Hulk show. It was absolutely terrible. You're mocking the viewers. Like what you did was absolutely garbage. You deserve to get shafted by these companies." But I'm going to be a little bit more charitable, and I definitely do understand that sentiment. I think these shows are absolutely terrible. I criticize them all the time. I don't watch them because they clearly are promoting them as things that are very hateful and disgusting and sickening, and they're clearly trying to promote certain messages that I find absolutely abhorrent, and I think more people should find abhorrent. But I do sympathize with the fact that these corporations do seem to be taking advantage of the labor. It's not Bob Iger isn't the guy who's really making these things happening. He's not the guy putting in the labor to get the work done. He's not the guy who's setting up the rigs. He's not the guy doing the art. He's not the guy rehearsing the lines. I get that. Those are the people that are doing that. Those are the laborers, and they should be compensated for that. And as a Catholic, that's actually very important to me. One of the sins that cries out to heaven is unjust wages. And if what these actors are saying on these picket lines, what these writers are saying, and they aren't getting paid just wages, then I think they definitely have some massive validity to complain and to hold the line. But at the same time, I also think they need to reflect on the stuff that they have created, all of the insults that they've done to the viewing audience that I think have turned off the public to being sympathetic to them. They should be much more sympathetic than what they are, and they're not. And I think that's their own actions. They've turned the public, who should be sympathetic to them, against them because of how condescending, spiteful, and hateful they've been in the shows that they've made, in the comments that they've made about America, about American politics, etc., about American society, and how they want to reshape it into this woke utopia, which is going to just make everyone just disastrous. Like everyone is going to be awful and terrible, and it's just gonna be bad. It's not the way. It's against nature. I mean, it's sinful. Like all the things that they push are just completely wrong and are not for this world. And that's why I think a lot of people are so unsympathetic to them, where they should be sympathetic, because I do think that they are getting gypped over by these massive corporations, by these CEOs like Bob Iger, that we know do exploit labor. They literally thanked the Chinese government that runs a slave encampment for Mulan. So we know that they're exploiting labor in that sense, but it does also appear that they might be exploiting labor here on this end, where they're paying people apparently nothing and trying to get away with it. So that's kind of where I'm at on this. Let me know what you think. I know this is a little bit of a controversial take, but that's just kind of where I'm at. And I do think, though, that this is a very nuanced subject, and I haven't really heard anyone really kind of coming at it from where I'm standing from. So hopefully maybe that's like a unique thing that you're hearing, maybe something you haven't heard before. Hopefully if you like this, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click that bell for notifications as well.